Oh man, I'm so ready to start this video. And so, this creature feature Halloween teaser begins in Sleepy Hollow, New York. I am crossing off the ultimate top of the list, bucket list. I have stated for many of seasons now how I've wanted to come to Sleepy Hollow, New York. The legend of Sleepy Hollow. This is Sleepy Hollow Middle School and High School. Very nice. I can only assume, I hope so. I hope their mascot is the Horseman. It's gotta be, right? Absolutely nailed it. I would have loved to have gone to this high school. Look at that. The Headless Horseman holding the jack-o'-lantern. Home of the Horseman, class of 1986. Right here at Sleepy Hollow Middle School and High School. Have a great, oh no, have a restful summer. Almost said restless. And on this side across the way, another Horseman. Gonna show you everything Headless Horseman in North Tarrytown today. The original name of Sleepy Hollow. We gotta check out this sign over here. We came over here for this sign. We're showing everything beforehand, everything we find along the way. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to historic Sleepy Hollow. A lifetime dream come true today for myself and Chris the girl. I have dreamed about this moment, this video in particular. You living vicariously, me living in it. The legend of Sleepy Hollow is one of my main inspirations of my entire life. Halloween, my favorite season of them all. Washington Irving's creation, written in 1820. Washington Irving from Tarrytown, the original name of Sleepy Hollow. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome if it's your first time. We begin this video, of course, in Sleepy Hollow, New York. I am so freaking stoked. This is the pinnacle moment. It's day 2 on video, day 3 for us, of this road trip. We are starting Halloween very early. We're getting hyped. You're in Halloween shopping season, well into it.
Yeah, it's been Halloween a few months for me.
It's Halloween 365.
Yeah.
Have you seen our house?
Yeah.
Sleepy Hollow, the legend of Sleepy Hollow, Ichabod Crane, the Headless Horseman. The tale is etched in my mind, in my heart, in my brain. Mind, brain, same thing. This is so freaking sick being here. We're gonna check out everything Headless Horseman. We're gonna talk more. We're gonna talk more about Sleepy Hollow. We're gonna visit Washington Irving's grave, buried right here in North Tarrytown, Sleepy Hollow. We're gonna visit Sunnyside, Washington Irving's house. He also wrote one of my other favorites, a short story called Rip Van Winkle. We're gonna talk more about that. We're gonna show you everything Headless in Sleepy Hollow. We're just gonna have fun just roaming around this town. This was the stopping point for today's trip. We are moving further north tonight. We are excited, ecstatic, enthused, just so lucky and feel so happy to be here to present to you this video. There's much ahead.
Or not.
Oh, that's good. She got it. Also, you mentioned this is a school behind us. Ichabod Crane could have taught here. I mean, he would have taught here. Now, I'm sure there's an old schoolhouse somewhere in North Tarrytown, Sleepy Hollow. Perhaps. This is a fictional story, but the lore, the legend has taken over the town. This is something that not just Sleepy Hollow, Tarrytown celebrates. Now the world, now the entire country. A little boy out in Indiana. Wow, I love this story. So creepy. So many versions of it now, and we'll talk more about that as well. And we are in Sleepy Hollow on a Sunday, so parking is absolutely free. Just so you know, we just parked along the street here. This is across from the high school. Beautiful homes. The Hudson River, just a short distance behind us down the hill. I love that their street signs are orange and black, and I believe I see a Headless Horseman on top of them. And we have moved up the street. We got Weber Park down here. This is Bedford Road. This is the main thoroughfare just up from the high school. Look at this. Sleepy Hollow Bagel Shop. It's Horseman Bagels. It's got a horseman holding the bagel. You just noticed that? Isn't that cool? Very clever. I love it. I want to move here. I'm ready. We've got Sleepy Hollow t-shirts in the windows of Horseman Bagels. Look at that, on fire. And look, it's the Joker. This is like the comic book Joker, like the Frank Miller version, fighting the Headless Horseman. You can't really see it in the glare. Here's the menu above. Horseman Bagels. We've got all kinds of stuff, not just bagels. I got ice cream in here. Walt Disney's The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, which is one of my favorite versions of the telling of Sleepy Hollow. We watched this last Halloween. All right, Queen Halloween. Where did this pumpkin come from? Maybe Home Depot?
My guess would be Home Depot.
You think his eyes light up? I think they do. Let's check it out. Yeah, you can't really see it in the window. There you go. Oh, Halloween is coming. We've got the Tim Burton Horseman. I love that movie, Sleepy Hollow. Saw it opening weekend when it came out. And this is a beautiful town. Quiet town, a look down Hudson, the main thoroughfare of Sleepy Hollow. We're gonna head over this way towards the cemetery. Actually, there's a Headless Horseman statue along the way. By the way, this coffee is really good. Horseman Bagels, we'll be back. Let's check that out.
I got a pumpernickel with strawberry cream cheese.
Man, that looks good.
I'm excited, yeah.
If I didn't have a bagel earlier, I would've waited.
I didn't think of that.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Didn't really realize that Sleepy Hollow's a hilly little river town right next to the Hudson. Makes sense. We're also at one point gonna go out to the Sleepy Hollow Lighthouse that sits over the river. Old time gas station. Look at this. Welcome to Sleepy Hollow. Got the Headless Horseman here, and also right here in this graphic. Looks like it's straight out of the 80s. And this is right across the street from a couple things, but we're first gonna stop at the Headless Horseman statue, which is beyond this park, inside this park, right there. This is a cool sculpture. Here you go, better on this side with the sun hitting it. That's magnificent. He's holding the jack-o'-lantern, about ready to throw it, like in the tail. It's really cool to see the sculpture with the gas station in the background. And then over here on the corner, you can make out the stonework right here. This is the Sleepy Hollow Bridge. And beyond that, the Sleepy Hollow Graveyard. So this will be our next couple of stops. I really want to put things into perspective so people at home can understand. This is a very small town. Like, we didn't come too far up the road. Everything is within like 3, maybe 2 square miles. Nice little pathway out to this point. There's a sign up here. Sleepy Hollow, Headless Horseman again on the sign. It says Kinglands Point Park and Lighthouse to the left. So we will do this after we do the cemetery in Washington Irving's grave. I have always wanted to walk across this bridge.
It's a big moment for you. Big moment.
I got goosebumps on my goosebumps. Here we go. Watch out for the horseman. We've got the stonework, we've got things to read right here. Also, this is a very wide bridge. This intersection, kind of a 5-pointer. Over there's the other side. Let's see what this says over to the right. William Rockefeller. Erected by William Rockefeller. Land donated by Philipse Manor Company. Board of Trustees, John Worth Press, and all the names. So the Rockefellers didn't live too far from here, as you may know. Some of them, actually some of the Rockefeller family might be buried in here, maybe one of the Carnegies in the cemetery. Also a bridge in the cemetery. Motorcycles. There's a plaque up here. Headless Horseman Bridge. All right. Just letting the camera roll. The Headless Horseman Bridge, described by Irving in The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, formerly spanned this stream at this spot. So the former bridge sat right here. The inspiration to Washington Irving's Legend of Sleepy Hollow. Also, there was a tale of a German Hessian during the Revolutionary War that lost his head in a battle near here that also played into the folklore and the inspiration. It is said that that may have inspired the description of the characters. There's a bee right there, be careful. Oh, I'm about to be headless. And right here in the middle of the current bridge Sleepy Hollow Bridge, erected to the memory of Washington Irving, 1783 to 1859. Now, I almost missed that. Thank you. I walked right past it.
No problem.
So Washington Irving, little fun fact about him. He was a great writer, short story writer, but also wrote biographies on George Washington and Christopher Columbus, lived in the UK, also was an ambassador to Spain. He spoke Spanish, so I think he may have written some in Spanish, not so sure, but he lived and wrote right here in the later portion of his life in Tarrytown. We're gonna go to his house today. It is a museum. I don't know if it's open, but it is called Sunnyside, and if you've ever been to the Sleepy Hollow refreshments in Magic Kingdom, you're gonna see something that looks very familiar to you today.
Nutella waffles.
I hope we have some waffles. So right after the sign, right here, the entrance to the Old Dutch Church of Sleepy Hollow, founded in 1685, also the south gate to the cemetery. We're gonna actually go get our car and come back into the cemetery, check out the Old Dutch Church. I am a descendant of some of the first Dutch in New York City. Actually, my surname, the first ever, is born in Netherlands and buried in Brooklyn, New York at the Old Dutch Church. I've got to visit that someday. And we're gonna head into the cemetery, but first, we're gonna go across the way here, look out on that side of the bridge. There's something out that way. And look at this, old railroad bridge to the right, just south of the Sleepy Hollow Bridge. And out that way, a village, a pioneer village. I saw this on the map, I thought it was a little further up. Chris looked over and said, hey, look at that. At some point, I see someone out there. Oh yeah, this is a living history museum. And also there's a bridge out that way. So we will go over here eventually. This looks so cool. It's a living history museum. There's a pioneer ladies out there. Amazing. And on this side of the bridge, little plaque here, it says State of New York 1933. So this bridge has been here since 1933. And there we go. We're gonna get the car and go into the cemetery. There's still much ahead. Old Dutch Church of Sleepy Hollow, 1685. And on this sign here it says tours meet here. So they do Sleepy Hollow Cemetery tours. All right, so there's plenty of parking right before this entrance here. It's blocked off, no vehicles up this thoroughfare. There's some rules here. There's also a sign over here with the visiting hours, 8 to 4:30, and also a sign right here that says Irving. No, not Chris the Girl, but up there you can see the tombstones. Also a Headless Horseman. Right there. The Midnight Ride. Tale of the Midnight Ride. Let's talk about Are You Afraid of the Dark? One of my favorites, just because it's about the Headless Horseman. If you know you've seen it, check it out.
You just watched it.
Yeah, I was getting in the mood for the trip. Love that. We're walking up this hill. It looks like part of the cemetery is petitioned off. Oh, check this out. These are clogs, wooden clogs from Holland. This is a Dutch cemetery. That is really cool. I had a pair of those when I was a kid. We kept them by our door. And you know what? I've got to go back to the car because I have my ghost meter with me. I'm gonna see if we get a reading out here. Spooky, isn't it? Very peaceful, just like most cemeteries. I always say that. It looks spooky, but some of the most peaceful places in America are within wrought iron fences. People are literally dying to get in, not out. If you saw my video a couple weeks ago, I was exploring the north part of Florida. I got a great reading, a natural EMF reading, unexplained, at a Civil War hospital. That was my first real reading on this thing. Legends and lore. Headless Horseman teethers his horse nightly among graves in the churchyard, according to the legend of Sleepy Hollow. Author Washington Irving. I get goosebumps to say that, to be here. We're gonna visit his grave. I'm getting very Laurel Hill Cemetery vibes in here. In Philadelphia, we've both been there.
Yeah, definitely.
I went there for the Rocky filming locations. That's where fictionally Adrian's buried. Got to check out some Titanic passenger graves in there. And we come in peace to this hallowed ground. We enter the cemetery of Sleepy Hollow. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. back side of the church there. Eventually we'll walk around, get you the front side. There's an animal going through the church over there right now. Big bushy tail.
It's a groundhog.
It's a groundhog. It's a ground gopher. Now we're not so sure where Washington Irving's grave is, but I'm sure it will pop out. I'm gonna try to find some of the oldest tombstones in here. Most of these, as I always say, it always saddens me that you can't read them, but they do keep great records here. You can go look it up to see who's buried where. Even though the acid rain, Mother Nature has taken a toll on most of these resting places. This one you can read. Lucinda Dutcher, James Horton, died 1849. Aged 39 years. Here lies the body of Susanna, wife of Wolvers Eckler, who departed this life December 1767, aged 46 years. That's a beautiful headstone. And we know where the groundhog's living. Right under this bench in the Sleepy Hollow Cemetery. We found your home, buddy. Check this out. Walked right past this. Notice the last name on this tombstone. This is Catherine J. Van Tassel. Van Tassel is one of the surnames, one of the last names Washington Irving used in the legend of Sleepy Hollow. Van Tassel's very Dutch name. Nice little walk up this hill, very steep, very peaceful. A few people out here, not too many. The people will always lead you to where the graves are. Oh, I see it right up there. It says Irving right on the gate on the top of the hill. And on this wrought iron gate, Irving. We can step up here. We can't go in. Don't know where his grave is yet. This is awesome. The Irving family grave plot. Washington Irving's grave, Irving's home Sunnyside, and the Old Dutch Church of Sleepy Hollow, which Irving immortalized in legend, are National Historic Landmarks. Irving's grave plot receives perpetual care from local citizens and admirers of the author of the Sleepy Hollow legends. That was placed there by the Irving family in 1972. And you can see it right there, clear as day. All the way in the back. I'll zoom in on it just a second, showing you what's going on here. It's freaking beautiful. Born April 3rd, 1873. Died November 28th, 1859, I believe. Washington Irving. His name is well seen from a distance compared to the rest of the tombstones of his family, of his kin around him. 2 American flags have been placed, Old Glory to the left, to the right. American folklore, very important moment here on this channel. Always wanted to come here. This man can be credited with inventing Halloween, one of many people, but I'd say heavily gifted credit for the legend of Sleepy Hollow. Crickets. The grave of Washington Irving. There's their grave right there, going up on the backside. Nice little pathway here you can walk. Looks like there's some tombs up here in the hillside. Mausoleums. That one from 1900. Watch your step. I've never seen anything like that either. Locked down tight.
Whoever's in there, they don't want him to come out.
It says Terry, 1892. Scary Terry? No offense to the family. We're gonna go to the old style Horseman Bridge, which is located in this gigantic cemetery, more so at the back, so we gotta go down the way we came and up a little bit. Also buried in here, Samuel Gompers, father of the American Union, guy that started most of the unions in America. I read about him in history. He's buried here. Also William Rockefeller is buried in this cemetery as well. Don't know if we'll get back to those graves, but I just wanted to mention there are a ton of influential Americans throughout New York, really, throughout New England, but specifically buried in this cemetery. We're making our way towards the Horseman Bridge of the cemetery. Look at this. Ichabod Crane, Headless Horseman, and on the other side, this is the opposite way to go up to Irving grave. There's a picture of Washington Irving. Someone painted, hand painted on this wooden sign here. Yeah, look at this. It's a beautiful cemetery. Haunting. And I almost missed it. Crane Way. Look at that. Chris the girl saw that. Ichabod Crane. And you go right up there to see Washington Irving. You got it! And as Chris was just saying, in her own words, as I always say, we came in peace, we leave in peace. Please do not follow us home. We'll be back. At last. There it is. I think you can drive across it.
Yeah.
Are you ready? Watch out for the Headless Horseman. But if we get across it, whoa, we did it. So this is what is known as the recreation of the Sleepy Hollow Bridge. It's very peaceful here. Not that haunting, just so peaceful. And we're on the bridge. Look at this stream here. That's beautiful. Would love to come here in the fall. Someday I will, to see the autumn. It's really pretty right now.
Yeah.
Imagine this with all the leaves.
Yeah.
We'll definitely come back. We wanted to come for the first time when it wasn't peak season. We heard...
We want to enjoy it and actually, like, yeah, experience it. I don't know.
Without
ourselves and not with thousands and thousands and thousands of other people.
They said back at the Headless Bagels that over 300,000 people come here in October, so I can imagine if it was a Saturday or a Sunday in October right now, it'd be shoulder to shoulder out here.
Someday we will.
Oh yeah, much ahead. Ha 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 ha. There you go, right there. There's the angle. Get the whole bridge into frame. Can you imagine the Headless Horseman? It's not midnight, but we're gonna make it. Whoa! Wonder what the weight limit is on that bridge. Yeah, bye, Sleepy Hollow Bridge, number 2. Exiting the cemetery up here, the front side of the church. Beautiful church. And welcome to Philipse Manor. Visitor Center. They do tours here. This is the little pioneer village we saw from afar of the bridge. And in the gift shop, look at this, the Legend of Sleepy Hollow. Headless Horseman. It's a nice little gift shop in here. Look at this. Smells good too. And happy Halloween right here in the gift shop.
Legend of Sleepy Hollow.
Halloween mugs.
Look at this one.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Headless Horseman glass. Also, they have Katrina Van Tassel candles, Katrina Van Tassel perfume. They've got bags. They've got purses. They've got the Legend of Sleepy Hollow, of course, the books. They've got like a leather-bound one here. They've got playing cards. Those are neat. Also, this ornament, Headless Horseman. Also, I think this is Katrina Van Tassel. Right there, also an ornament. Looks like Halloween 365 right here. And also Headless Horseman, the candle, which smells really good. I just smelled it. Oh, do you see the snow globe?
Oh yeah, neat.
Look at the snow globe. Headless Horseman. That's cool. All of these photos are paintings. Just an 8x10 there. Ichabod Crane running from the horseman. And here's the Headless Horseman in the Dutch cemetery. Also, there's the church. And here's the sign. Legends of Sleepy Hollow, the lost history of the Headless Horseman. This book is coming home with us. Sleepy Hollow, the hat. You like this hat? What do you think?
Yeah.
Pretty cool. How about Washington Irving, the body spray? Sprayed right there. It's all right. The postcard.
Yeah, get a postcard. The back is kind of neat too.
Hey, Mom. And a peek out at Philipsburg. They're about ready to close up for the day, but they said we could just come out here as long as we don't go over the bridge and take a peek. Welcome back to the early 1800s. It is beautiful out here.
Beautiful.
Freaking beautiful.
Flowers.
Oh, wow. Welcome to Philipsburg. Maybe the next time we come to Sleepy Hollow, we'll take the tour.
Yeah.
It's really a bridge across a dam. Very old buildings up there from the 1850s. And both of these images I showed before on blankets here for 65 bucks. The Midnight Ride. So cool. I think I like this one more. And from Philipsburg Manor to Washington Irving's home, Sunnyside, a 12-minute drive. We're gonna head south, and we're gonna head back to Kingsland Point Park and check out the Lighthouse, the Sleepy Hollow Lighthouse. We are rerouting a little bit. Sunnyside is bound to close very soon. And as we were exiting Philipsburg Manor, Chris saw this stone right by the road. Check this out. Zoom in on it. The Headless Horseman rides again. So cool. I could totally live here. All right, here we go. Washington Irving's Sunnyside. There he is right on the side. Historic Hudson Valley. The gate is open. Okay, this is pretty. Wow. And we've come to this parking lot, garden over there, nice view of the Hudson, and down the hill, down the way here, main thoroughfare to Sunnyside. Explore the riverside cottage and enchanted landscape of Washington Irving, author of legend of Sleepy Hollow. And this is the museum gift shop right here. Looks like Sunnyside is out towards the Hudson River. You can see the top of it right there. And we've come straight away to the gift shop, seeing a lot of familiar things we just saw at the other museum. Looks like you have to walk through the gift shop to get down to Sunnyside. So we're gonna see how much it costs to go take a look. So, get this. We've got tickets, we've got wristbands, although the tours stop at 3:30. We have until 5 o'clock to do self-guided Sunnyside. I was nervous, wasn't I?
You were really nervous, yeah.
I had to zip it here.
Yeah, but we
made it. Yeah! Now, I left the ghost meter in the car because I was so freaking trying to get out here, but it is said that Sunnyside is haunted by the ghost of Washington Irving himself. And first look at it, as we're coming down this hill, the sun hitting Sunnyside right here in the evening on the Hudson. Isn't that awesome?
Beautiful.
I'm gonna zoom in on it. Right there. Now if you look at the edge of the roof here, that'll remind you of Sleepy Hollow refreshments back at Magic Kingdom. It smells like
Floridian.
Smells like waffles. And the first building we see here with this steeple, it's kind of halfway out of the ground. Take a look inside. There's a plaque. It says Ice House. Washington Irving had his own ice house. Look at the hoist up here. Both your uncle and I are a little anxious that our ice house should be completely filled, and we fear that if it is not attended to immediately, we will not have a supply, for we cannot expect much more very cold weather. Ebenezer Irving to Sarah Irving, February 12th, 1840.
Ice was harvested from local lakes and ponds. It was packed in layers with straw and sawdust used as insulation. Neat.
Really neat.
Washington Irving designed his ice house in a whimsical fashion, conveying the look of a small Gothic chapel.
I thought it was a church when we were coming up.
Nicely done.
The steeple definitely looks like a chapel.
It looks like straight out of Magic Kingdom.
Right? Here we are. Sunnyside. Apple tree. This is freaking beautiful. This is where he wrote many of his works, including the biography of George Washington. It's kind of cool to have it all to ourselves, even though we missed the tour. I'm sure there's a lot of fun facts. Woodshed. Old barrel in here. Like an apple. A crab apple. The lights are on. Hello. Isn't it amazing?
Yeah.
Find some more history, hopefully. There's a building here to the side of the woodshed, in between the house and the woodshed. Hello? Wow. Spooky. Alright, this is the side door. Looks like we're gonna go around to the front here. Oh wow, he had a view, didn't he?
Yeah.
The train tracks.
Oh,
Wow, the train tracks go right in front of Sunnyside.
That's neat.
Go all the way to New York. So if you're ever going up the Hudson on train, look up to the right or to the left, depending on which way you're going. And it's Washington Irving's home. Sunnyside. 1656. I don't know if that's the address. I think that is the address, 1656. This is freaking beautiful. Wow. Some wild turkeys down here, down the hill. Gobble gobble. See him? Run! You got a couple months. A couple months till Thanksgiving, run! And there's the iconic south shot of Sunnyside right there. The train's coming. We're gonna get the train. Whoa! Metro North. They go fast. There's the Hudson. Got the hills across the Hudson there. All right, so Sunnyside, built in 1835. And it was designed by architect George Harvey. It is the Dutch Colonial Revival, Scottish Gothic, Tudor Revival, and Romantic style. I had to do a little history here since we didn't make the tour. The property came into the hands of the Van Tassel family, who were married into the Eckert family and owned it until 1802. So this property was owned by the Van Tassels, hence the name. The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, I think we know where he got that name. 150 acres were deeded to the family of Benson Ferris, one-time clerk of the Old Dutch Church of Sleepy Hollow, whose wife, Maria Acker, was a descendant of Wolfert Ackers. Irving would immortalize the Van Tassel family name in his short story, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. And we saw some of the descendants earlier buried in the Sleepy Hollow Cemetery. That's pretty cool. I'm reading this off of the internet here. In 1832, Washington Irving visited his nephew Oscar Irving, who lived near the old stone farmhouse. Irving had recently undertaken a substantial trip through the prairies of Arkansas and the Mississippi rivers, and the frontier lifestyle made him lament his lack of home of his own. He was also frustrated because he had lived most of his adult life as a guest in other people's homes. As Irving wrote, he was eager for a home. There's another train. That one's Amtrak. As Irving wrote, he was eager for a home and was willing to pay a little unreasonably for it. Irving finally purchased this property on June 7th, 1835 for $1,800. Irving wrote the story Wolfert's Roost about Acker at this site. A letter to his brother Peter, he described it as a beautiful spot capable of being made a little paradise. It's pretty beautiful. I'm definitely in the mood for some chicken and waffles right now. People who go to Magic Kingdom will fill you in on that. Wow. The south side, Sunnyside. This is beautiful. Now there are some ghost stories. It is said that Washington Irving perhaps haunts this place. We'll go see. Are you ready to go inside?
I'm ready.
Here we come, Sunnyside. Sunnyside up. Hello, Mr. Irving. We come in peace. No! I guess we gotta go around the other door. Guess we gotta go around to this door. Ooh, the dining room is set. Looks like it's all locked up, but we're peeking in this screen door here.
I think we could go around the other side.
Other side?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, this is like partitioned off here. All right, can't go that way.
3 for 3.
They got, all right, look at this. Washington Irving. Oh, we got a double seater in here. And we got a single seater over here. And there's another one over here. Wow, rich people. And I think it's all locked up. I don't think we're gonna get inside. I guess that's why we missed the tour. But at least we got to come over and take a look. We can look in the windows though. Check this out. Oh yeah, look. You can see through all the windows. This is the kitchen. Got the table all prepared here. Also there's like a stair set up to the right. Pretty neat. Yeah. There's also like pictures down here. I'm sure someone lived here after Irving passed away. And through this window, check this out. Washington Irving study. A desk. A chair. Perhaps where he wrote many of his tales. Hello. Someone in there. And Chris brought up a picture of Sleepy Hollow refreshments at Magic Kingdom. And if you look right there, you see the tower there, the smokestack. Look at this.
Definitely see the resemblance.
Sleepy Hollow refreshments. Just need chicken and waffles. Coming here in the afternoon with the sun hitting it from the west. Can imagine coming here in the morning. You don't get as good as photos. We took a lot of photos. And I was overheard someone over here talking. The water used to come all the way up here. So they built the railroad tracks, and they basically built the shore out just so they can make the railroad tracks along the Hudson. So when Irving was here, this was all underwater right here in this ridge all the way all around, just for the railroad tracks. It's a nice view.
Nice view. I'll take it.
Can we live here? Can we sleep here tonight?
I'll go get my stuff.
The home and the grave of Washington Irving, a man who can be credited more than most of developing of what we know, the legend, the folklore of Halloween. Beautiful. Is it haunted? I don't know. We can go inside. Maybe next time. Here's the corner of the house. Absolutely beautiful. That's the back kitchen. The vines growing up it. It's his office right there. Almost time. Autumn's coming. Must look gorgeous out here in the fall.
I feel like we could walk right up there and order some house-made chips.
Right? Gosh, I think we're getting hungry.
Get Dasani water.
With your salt in it.
I'll mobile order it.
Mobile order.
Ride the Haunted Mansion.
Trains are coming. Watch out. Uh-oh.
Sure, Irving would not be happy with that now.
Goodbye, Sunnyside. We'll be back. I'm sure you could watch some good sunsets at Sunnyside. And up here by the gift shop, this is where we walked out of. It's a freaking giant tree, hundreds of years old. And look at this, it says right here, the International Society of Arboriculture. I just saw one of these signs in Georgia. This tree was here during the American Revolutionary period, 1776 to the bicentennial. Just saw one of these in Georgia. Trying to think of that town. It was a really cool town. It's the video I made of the birthplace of Jackie Robinson, and the name has escaped me. It's a beautiful tree. This one here, it's a sycamore. Here's the plaque inside the gift shop. Sunnyside, home of Washington Irving, America's first man of letters and author of The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, a designated literary landmark. The original Knickerbocker, the life of Washington Irving, a term used by a local basketball team. We got Washington Irving the t-shirt. That's really cool. I like that. Also they have long sleeve. And then back there they have him on a hoodie. There he is right there, young Washington Irving. I'd say he's in his late 30s, probably early 30s, maybe 34. That's a cool ornament. Now we do have a spooky tree at home.
We do, yeah.
Halloween tree up year round. And 24 years before A Christmas Story was written by Charles Dickens, Washington Irving wrote this, Old Christmas, which I had no idea. Originally published in 1819 as part of a larger collection of short stories by Washington Irving. The 5 stories in Old Christmas were illustrated and republished in 1876 as a tribute to the author. They describe English traditions of Christmas and recount the festivities that Irving experienced while visiting England. So yeah, he lived several years in England. And Queen Halloween did some spooky shopping at both gift shops.
Yeah.
Like, we're on vacation.
A lot of damage. I already knew that I was going to be spending a lot of money on souvenirs this trip, so yeah.
You're entitled to it.
We got a lot of stuff.
You worked hard for it. So check out her video to see what all we bought today, what she bought. That's a cool bag.
Yeah.
I got some root beer or ginger ale.
Yeah, got a tea.
Got tea. Refreshing. We're gonna head back to Sleepy Hollow. There's still much ahead. The Headless Horseman rides again. Hey, welcome to downtown Sleepy Hollow. Pretty cool that they have brought on the orange and black Halloween colors. Up here on the pole, we are celebrating 150 years. Village of Sleepy Hollow, 150 years. And there's the old Dutch church there from the cemetery. We found the Sleepy Hollow train station right across from Kingsland Point Park. 1883 Lighthouse at Sleepy Hollow. So it's cash only to get in the park. We're going to the nearest ATM because none of us have cash. Look at this, right across from the Headless Horseman Bridge, back at the Sleepy Hollow gas station. ATM inside, no dice. ATM out of service here. They did have a lot of Sleepy Hollow t-shirts though, like this one, 30 bucks. And the Gulf gas station across from Sleepy Hollow Animal Hospital had an ATM inside this gas station right here. And round 2, deja vu, we got cash. And look at this view. And another Sleepy Hollow bridge, look at that. And a nice little walk out into the park, big park, a lot of families out here celebrating. Seems like birthdays and whatnot, a lot of parties. Welcome to Kids Rock. It's literally right here. Kids Rock, the legend. This rock was where Frederick Philipse I conspired with Captain William Kidd, the notorious pirate. Legend has it that Philipse would light a fire on this rock to beacon Kidd's ship. Philipse owned significant shipping interests and was known to be engaged in smuggling. And this goes on to say that Lord Belmont, the British Colonel Governor, suspected that Philipse had obtained and hidden Kidd's contraband treasures. Kidd was captured, transported to England, and executed in 1701. Kidd's Rock, right here on the Hudson. That's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
It's a pretty big rock. I can see why he lit a fire upon it to signal Captain Kidd. Captain Kidd, the pirate. Right out there, it's the lighthouse, the Sleepy Hollow Lighthouse, just before the bridge there. Looks like you can walk all the way down to it. Looks like we just missed the Sleepy Hollow Mermaid Festival on July 20th. Shucks. Got here a week or two late. Getting closer to the lighthouse. Looks like there's a little bridge to get out to it. It's a nice wall here along the river. Full of art. Really cool. A lot of people walking over here. Enjoying the river walk. And the Sleepy Hollow Lighthouse. Pretty close now. Get a little closer. Sign said built in 1883. A river this wide, you would definitely need a lighthouse. Look at this. Too bad it's not a clear day. See all the way across over there, the other side of New York. Chris the girl. It's a beautiful wall. There you go. pretty. Oh, look at this. The Headless Horseman right across from the lighthouse. Look, he's holding all the flags of the world. That's cool. And it's all closed off here. There's a sign to the left to the bridge here. Read it in just a second. Show you what's going on here. The Tarrytown Lighthouse and Sleepy Hollow. Operations on the lighthouse began in 1883 and it was decommissioned in 1965. The lighthouse is a 60 feet tall with walls made of welded steel plates. The lamp on top could throw a beam of light over 10 miles, warning ships away from the dangerous shoals along the stretch of the Hudson River east shore. A large bell on the second catwalk rang steadily whenever fog obscured navigation. During its 74 years of active service, 14 different lighthouse keepers, some with their families, called the lighthouse home. It's pretty neat. 1883. 2 years before 1885, the Tarrytown Lighthouse in Sleepy Hollow is planned to open to the public in late 2024. Look at that. It says it right there at the end of that sign. So it has been recently restored. It looks amazing. Next time we're in town, maybe we'll come back and take a tour. Watch ahead. And the bridge over there that leads to upstate New York, the beginning of it, it's called the Como Bridge. We just looked it up. Chris actually just looked it up.
Yeah. Thanks, Google.
Thank you for joining me. This was like a dream come true today. Wow. I can't believe that this just like happened. I always wanted to do this today. I'm glad I waited to do it with the best thing that ever happened to me, Chris the girl.
Me too.
I want to thank you all for watching so much. If you enjoyed this video today, if you enjoyed this adventure, please feel free to give the video a thumbs up. And also, if it was your first time, subscribe below. This is day 2 on video of this road trip. I'm going to be filming a lot more, and so is Chris the girl. Make sure you check out her channel. I will post a link in a comment below. I will pin that comment. Check out everything she bought today. She's showing it. You filmed at the beginning, like the whole day.
The whole day, yeah.
So when we left the hotel, and maybe a little more after this.
If you like grocery stores.
We went to a cool grocery store. That's where we ate lunch. And now we're gonna think about dinner after we leave Sleepy Hollow. Thank you guys always. This channel wouldn't be the same without you. As I always say, there's much ahead, and we'll see you next time. Also, watch out for the Headless Horseman next time you're in Sleepy Hollow. Maybe we'll have to come out here at night sometime.
Definitely. We'll be back.
That's right. Much ahead. So know you're awesome, know you're loved, no matter who you are, what you're going through, just know that there's always much ahead. Watch out. The goblins will get you if you don't watch out. I add the words of James Whitcomb Riley, the Hoosier poet, because that's my Washington Irving from where I come from. Alright guys, see you later. Bye-bye. Did you notice the blood right there? Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo.